And then the last one's Josh Lugg, Vince.
Yeah, this is a tough one for me. I think based on what Notre Dame has coming through the pipeline and also based on the fact that they are going to get a new offensive line coach, I think that I give Josh Lugg a big handshake and a huge hug, and I say thanks for what you gave to the university, but I think it's time to move forward. That's the conversation I would personally have with Josh. Whether he goes and transfers and does something as a fifth or sixth year, okay, that's fine.
It'd be a sixth year, yeah.
But for me at Notre Dame, that's what I would do. I just think there's too much young talent here at Notre Dame at the tackle position that's as good as, or has the ability to be as good as in 22 that Josh Lugg would be coming back. Mm-hmm. And again, it's nothing against Josh. It's just is what it is, man. That's how college football is. I like Josh too. But I'm ready to kind of a new wave.
Josh is a great kid too.
Yes.
When I say I like Josh, I'm not even talking about him as a player. I'm really not. I'm talking about him as a young man. I really like Josh. But the problem is in football, sometimes you have to make decisions that aren't personal. It's you got to look out what's best for your entire football team.
Right.
And the reality is I think Josh kind of is what he is. And part of the reason I believe that is because of the injuries he's had to deal with. I mean, he's battled a lot of injuries, and they've been like a back and shoulder and things that you don't ever necessarily fully come back from. And so for me, when I look at him, I say, all those things, he is who he is.
Right.
Sixth-year seniors usually don't make huge jumps in their game, even with coaching, maybe being a bit of an issue. So I look at it and I say, I just kind of feel like it's time for him to move on. And I think, like you said, I think your point about with the new O-line coach and bringing in a, coach up Tosh Baker, coach up Joe Alt, coach up Blake Fisher.
What we've seen from some of these young guys is very promising, right? I mean, it's very promising. And I still feel like if Tosh Baker gets coached up properly, he's going to be a really good tackle, right? And if you've got Alt and you've got Baker at tackle, and then that gives you, moves that you can do other places with
Blake Fisher.
Thank you.
And if Tosh isn't ready, then Blake Fisher and Joe Alt need to be your tackles. Because let's be honest, Joe Alt played better than Josh Lugg did for a good chunk of the end of the season.
Yeah, he did.
And just especially in pass pro. And I think that's the direction where he wants to go. Yeah.
And I tell you what, I think that the emergence of Joe Alt makes this decision a lot easier for Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. I think it really does. And so, we'll see what happens.
Defensively, Vince, Drew White, I don't know what they're going to do there. I don't know. That's a tough one too. Great kid. I just feel like fifth-year senior, injury history. It's younger players coming along.
Yeah.
I would love to see Bo Bauer and J.D. Bertrand get a chance to battle at Mike next year with Marist and Prince Collie playing Will. I feel like Drew's a phenomenal young man. He's a better player than he's often given credit for.
Yep.
But I feel like between his limitations and how that limits what Marcus Freeman likes to do defensively, I think Notre Dame needs to make the decision that it's best that he either go play in the National Football League if he wants to try, go transfer somewhere else, or maybe
I think that's
that Notre Dame degree.
Again, I think that's a discussion that probably takes place. You know what I mean? Because again, there's only 85. And so you're going to have to make hard decisions. I mean, that's just the nature of the beast, right? So